most of you guys know, I've been in crypto since November of 2008. Um, I've started out as a miner, and I still mine stables to this day, and or stake or run validator nodes for key projects and or stables in this space. Um, I've done AMAs probably in this space for the last 5 to 6 years, with whether it be a private whale group on Discord and through TeamSpeak and or through WeChat. Um, and then we moved over to Telegram about almost 2 years now. And I've tried to, within the Telegram community, what I tried to do there was really combat what was going on in the crypto space. Because to me, a lot of it didn't make no sense. What had been going down from 2020 to 2000 into 2021, which was a real green candle on everything. We had a high BTC hit an ATH, ETH hit, all the stables hit all-time ATHs, and there was market caps that were just out there on memes that made no sense without any diversity and or utility, I guess you'd want to say, or benefit back to trying to help grow crypto. And so I was, at one point in time, I think we're up to 4,600 contracts a day on BSC alone that was going down the pipe. There was well over 5 million transactions a day on their block. And that's what I pay attention to. I pay attention to what the transactions are on all the blockchains to get a reading of understanding where the money is being played at. And if you're a crypto enthusiast and you really want to stay in this space for a long time, and if you don't want to be a miner, you have to understand how to read certain things. It's not about reading the chart. It's about reading where the money's going. So it's all based upon your transactions. So ETH has always stayed healthy, along with some of the lower market cap ones. Like Cardano's has had good volume, even though their MC has went down. But that's because it's being manipulated. Everything's being manipulated by central world infrastructure. And that's what happens in this environment when we go too fast and we don't vet correctly. So I mean, as a whole, I'm an advocate for crypto and I love it. And I'll talk about it to anybody, but I'll also educate them correctly as to not just dropping a wallet and investing in anything. They got to have something with some benefits, something that has some traction and is also on the correct blockchain for them. And like you guys are over on the east side. You guys are doing very well. And I looked at your chart and I see everything that you guys got going on. And I like it, and I want to hear more about it.
For sure, man. I'm excited to be talking to you about it. And you brought up a very good point, which is education. And that's something that we're really passionate about and something that we've been investing a lot in, especially recently. So one thing that we started doing over the past month was building an internal video team to create educational and engaging content across different platforms, primarily starting off on YouTube, and just really trying to create content where we're able to educate newcomers into the space about things that they really need to understand when getting into projects. Because a lot happens in projects and a lot happens just overall in the space that if the community really had the education of what's going on and what to look out for, they would be a lot more confident in being involved in projects. The reason why there's so much volatility, one of the reasons, is because when there's things that happen that people really aren't educated about, if you don't understand it, then you're really going to be intimidated or maybe be in the project for the wrong reasons. So education overall is just tremendously important and something that we think is critical to really building the space to be healthier. Because a lot of people come in with the wrong intentions, and if you can educate people to understand what's important, they're going to be able to stick around and be a part of this space much longer and more sustainably.
Definitely, man. I would
I agree.
argue that the biggest risk that there is in the space of DeFi is that there isn't enough information there for like your average newcomer to be able to like, be able to easily digest how to navigate themselves through the space. So, if anybody out there who's like developing some infrastructure or running a project out there or anything like that, anybody who's kind of like putting information out for newer people to kind of learn the ropes and whatnot is definitely helping the space, even though they might not think they
The
are, but
biggest,
they really are.
the biggest thing is what everybody, what a lot of people don't understand. I think that came in before, that came in after 2019, we'll say, so to speak. A lot of people didn't understand that the teams that were running wild up in this space, that were really launching the projects, were guys that came from the mining side and or had a full understanding about crypto and what they wanted to do. And a lot of us had a lot of, we utilized the forums to our advantage, right? Like BTC has a forum procedure, ETH has a forum procedure, and everybody talks on there. They don't always just interact here on these on voice chats. There's a lot of guys that don't want to talk or have, they can't really speak fluent English, so to speak, but have great ideas. And so, like, if you take it as a whole and look at it, primarily Asia has been the backer for crypto. It has not came from America. Let's be real. Most of the funding has come out of Korea, Japan, China. And that's the facts. And now most of the exchanges and stuff like that have went over and opened up offices over in Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the last, this year. Um, Now what is it? UAE is now going to be a primary hub for it. So I mean, a lot of things about it, like, I mean, if you take like Cardano, at one point in time, Cardano was registered in Switzerland, right? And but Charles had to move everything around because Switzerland was now wanting to tax crypto to a certain extent for the blockchain side this year. So he did a lot of moving around there. But I mean, you take like Ryoshi and their team, right? For instance, for Shib, a lot of people don't understand. Ryoshi's been a solid dev in this space for a long time, but he also works for one of the major players in this space. So he always comes with big money to be able to boost his projects. And that's why he's always stayed on ETH, for one. And two, if you've noticed, there's always been a nice trend with him. He always gets listed on a certain exchange right off the rip. And so it's always done well for him and his credibility in this space. But we need more teams like that to interact with, we'll say, the exchange, so to speak, and or the lenders, who's going to be able to boost your project through a space like this. But Shib was just one of those throw togethers, you know what I'm saying? But if you take like Trees, where it actually did a charity side for it, and it gave back to like the rainforest and things like that, a real world scenario, he always put a good utility behind it, but he always had a good backer, and he still does
Right.
to this day. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about crypto is it's about building that network out and keeping those networks clean. And what I mean by clean is try to always educate, always do your own research, and never tell them to invest more than they're willing to lose. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just ape the fuck in because they see who you are, and you're going, no, bro, don't. Just because you see X's, I tell anybody, listen, man, if you're going to go into this project, it's a mid to long term project. Understand that. Invest wisely. Invest in something you can sleep on. Just because
No, man,
one of us may know the team, doesn't that's not a fucking guarantee. Unless they reside in my home and I can take care of them, I will never vouch. I will support, but you can't vouch for anybody in this space, only but yourself.
I agree with you, man. I agree that the space does need more teams that can build a solid track record and kind of be able to produce those winning projects and be able to bring a certain level of credibility to the space of especially meme coins,
Bro,
and kind of to like
bro,
The
come back
Twitter
to what you
link,
were
the
talking
Twitter
about
link to this
on
space.
Ryoshi's end and with Shiba, for example. Yeah, you're right, man. Ryoshi had been a solid dev for quite a while, even before Shiba, and he worked on some pretty solid things on blockchain, and brought some other cool projects to life too. But what differentiates like the success of Shiba and the success of Doge is a lot of times, the term like why so serious? Why so serious? Like don't take everything so seriously. For example, that's kind of like what really went on the rise when the rise of meme coins was happening, and obviously you had Elon pushing it, and you had a bunch of thousands of meme coins launching every second, every minute, every day. Um, the difference is the true winners, the key winners, were the people who had those great teams backing it and those those winning track records. And I think that's the number one key difference that actually makes a crypto project, for example, um, let's say like ours, or just any other project that started around the same time as ours and actually has, done something to continue the legacy and continue building and continue bringing, certain ideas and utilities to the space. Those people, and including ourselves, are actually working on creating a track record that a year down the line, 2 months down the line, 3 years down the line, whatever the case is, we can always have like a report card of the things that we achieved and things that we, contributed to the space as a project and as a team and as a community. So I 100% agree that, all of those random projects that just come up on your screen are just trending or are just like on live new pairs. Yeah, those projects may be here tomorrow and may be gone the next. And
Well, we have a lot of good projects, and I think the biggest thing is the team staying with it. It should never matter about the market cap.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. I agree with that statement.
Everybody puts emphasis on the market cap, but understand this: crypto is a 2 to 5 year investment compared to a 15 to 20 year investment on the stock market. And you have good projects like Shima Nega, Kali Inu, things like that have good teams built for them. You know what I'm saying? And they're good, and they've come out in this bear market, for instance, along with like, you know, Shiba Doge, your guys' project. You guys have a good team built around you. There's teams, and and just by talking and interacting with those people, you can get a feel for them. If they're slick talking and they're always banging on the keyboards, things like that. I tend to stay away from teams like that because I'm not stupid. You can learn that if you talk to a person face to face in life, you know what I'm saying? If they can't make eye contact, it's the same way here in a VC. They can't stop pounding on the keys for a minute and put their attention to who they're speaking with. Then there's no real. Why would I want to put my money into there? You know what I'm saying? We have to take. A lot of people are followers as opposed to leaders, and we need to start building building more leaders to really read that and to get a firm understanding as far as what to look for on projects to a certain extent. And to me, a lot of times is interaction with the team. If I can't have a good interaction with the team members, then there's no way I'm going to invest. It doesn't matter how solid their project is. I mean, I've seen so many projects. We've had so many good projects come through that we've done AMAs with that I've just never. I didn't like the fucking name. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking gonna put my money in there. You guys do what you want.
No, I feel you, man. I 100% agree with everything you're saying. It's like transparency is key, and being able to kind of like lay out your vision and speak truthfully is one of the most important things that developers and leaders and projects can do for the community. Which is like we recognize that very early on, which is why we take that aspect of leadership very seriously. I mean, we're one of the few projects, if not probably literally the only project that has AMAs, voice AMAs twice a week, every week. We've been doing that literally every week for a year running straight now. So, I mean, we try to be as transparent as we possibly can with the community. We're always straight shooters. If something's going to work, we say it's going to work. If something's not going to work, we say it's not going to work.
Right.
And, we never sugarcoat anything. And,
Well, here's a good one for us. Okay, this came from Bitcoin News. U.S. Congressman says FTX collapse isn't a crypto failure, but a failure with decentralized finance. Somebody finally said it.
100%. So it doesn't matter how much money you have, you could still make bad decisions, right? And that's what FTX was. It was a great plan with horrible execution, and
We had them in for an AMA, and it was just, it's funny because my whale group always gets hit up. The two guys that lead that lead the charge for my whale team, I've known since, well, we mine together. I'm in their mining team for BTC. We all are. And they've always had the niche of knowing who is who. You know what I'm saying? And like, we couldn't even get it. Normally, we've always been in on privates on ETH all day long, whether it's on ETH, uh, whether it be Polkadot, Cardano, whatever. We've always had that niche. And when we couldn't get on the FTX one, we knew there was something suspect about it. And the more they looked into it, the more they found out that it was all centralized money that was going into it. Had nothing to do with crypto. It was just the suits wanting to get in, and because they couldn't get in early on like Binance, Crypto.com, KuCoin,
Well,
Gemini.
yeah, it's also why SPF isn't in prison right now. It doesn't make sense that they haven't got him at this point, and he's just walking around the Bahamas like he owns the place.
Oh no, he's over in Dubai now.
I last I saw that today. I saw a post that he was in Bahamas. I don't know. He could be somewhere else. Anything can be going on. But
I got sources in Dubai, and they're there.
I wouldn't be surprised. But the fact that he's just walking around freely is just tells you enough, because people have gotten locked up for things that did not cause any damage remotely close to what he has caused.
And you know why? You know why, right? You guys know why? Because most of their liquid assets was not in BTC. So that's why they can skate in this regard. BTC is the only one to date that is regulated globally, that if you crack it or if you take it, you can be prosecuted for it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's crazy. It's crazy to see what's happening. But you brought up a very great point, that crypto can be a 3 to 5 year investment rather than the stock market being a 10 to 20-year investment, if not more. I mean, we see that with the cycles that happen with crypto overall. I think that's a very interesting and unique way to look at it, that I don't think many people look at crypto that way. But people come in and expect to 1000x within a month, 2 months, and when they don't see it, they just leave. But that's another thing with education. I always bring up this statistic that I saw, that 98% of projects are rug pulls, and people really underestimate the projects that are sticking around, building, always doing what they promise, and actually providing utility value, nurturing their communities, and building something with the long term in sight. People really don't value that as much as they should, because when you're jumping around from project to project, always looking for that 1000x, if you look at the data at high level, 98% of chance you're going to get rug pulled and lose your money. So, I mean, people overall just come into the space with very dangerous expectations, and we need to come together as leaders in the space, and projects that have been around for so long and have built in the past and have proven ourselves.
No, and I firmly agree. So now let's speak about your guys' project. Tell me a little bit about it. How long have you guys been out for, first and foremost?